Good afternoon, Tiger fans, as we're here going up against the other Tiger fans in Special District 2, the Clatskanie Tigers, as Coach Ryan Tompkins, the host as well as the athletic director here, has got a nice grass field with a bit of a unique playing surface out in left field, similar to the Houston Astros, who've got a bit of a berm out there. So while the fence is only about 4 feet, from the bottom of left field, it's actually more about 6.5, 7 feet. So any outfielders for the Tigers, for Taft, that'll be Darius and a little bit of Ty as it extends out into left center field. As a nice little athletic complex here at Clatskanie High School. The nicest feature is the nice mist machines they have inside the dugouts, as we have temperatures in the mid-80s, approaching low 90s here, as the Tiger fans are starting to arrive here, as we've got the coaches discussing playing conditions here and everything, as we've got the officials today from the Lower Columbia Umpires Officials Association. In the first game, the plate umpire will be Dave and the field ump will be Jeff, as Dave Crane and Jeff Hickman joke with all of our officials that do these double headers. If they swap equipment, they go, no, we have our own, it will change. So here in the top of the first batting order for the Taft Tigers, very similar. It'll be the leadoff man, Trenton Fisher, followed by the pitcher, Eli DeMello. At shortstop, Cody Knott. In center field, Ty Fisher. At first base, Blaze Kimbrough. At third base today, Fico Ramos. In left field, Darius. Behind the plate, it'll be Caden. And at second base, it'll be Jordan Hall, but Lucas will be hitting as designated here today for Jordan Hall. On the mound for the Clatskanie Tigers, it'll be the freshman Andre Combs, the young right-hander, getting his nod in game number 1. And then behind the plate, he'll be throwing to Cade Warren. Over at first base, Dawson Evenson. At second base, Sam Shockley. Third baseman is Luke Roth, and the shortstop is Jack Booth. In left field, it's Chase Baker. In center field, Foster Evenson. And in right field, it's Noah Patterson with Jordan Ward available off the bench. 10-man lineup for Coach Tompkins. See if the heat affects any of the players today. Of course, the heat wave started yesterday, so everybody got a taste of it, as on the coast didn't have a whole lot of wind, so the high 80s were possible for us, as hopefully a lot of potassium and fluids were had. And the other big game that's going to be going on, and I can see the scoreboard, so I'll do my best to update you throughout, is the number 1 ranked Clatskanie softball team, combined between the softball team, which is 17-0, and their state champion basketball team. It's been since January 21st that the Clatskanie girls have lost a game. It's quite the impressive streak, as the number 4 ranked Lady Tigers, behind the right arm of Emma Coulter, look to, all they got to do is win 1. As when you're facing the number 1 undefeated team, you just got to win 1 and let them know that you can do it when you meet them in the playoffs. So it'll be Trenton Fisher starting off against Andre Combs on the mound. First pitch, fastball inside, swung on, and foul out of play down the third base line. As we got Coach King in his 6th season in the first base box, Coach Hilgers in his 2nd season in the third base box. 0-1 count to Trenton. This time goes the opposite side, fouls it out of play along the first base box. So down the first base box is the Clatskanie dugout. Tigers dugout is along the third base side. On deck is pitcher Eli DeMello. As 0-2 to Trenton. Curveball misses high. A 1-2 count. Ideal conditions for baseball here. It's about 352 or so to straight center field. The 350 sign is not dead center, so I wonder if it is 350 to center, and if that's just the best place for the sign. 302 to left field. As chopper foul down the third base line again, so 4 pitches, 3 foul hits for Trenton Fisher. He's got a lot of singles in the hitting leisure. As a leadoff man, that's what you want to see. Curveball misses high. 2-2 count. Trenton trying to start things off for Taft. coming up on Sunday, on Mother's Day, is the league district meeting, as that one's in the dirt outside. So count is full, 3-2. As to grass field here at Clatskanie, but home plate, this big circle, is a turf circle. Full count from Combs. It's high. It's hit into left field, as this one is playable, and it's caught there by Chase Baker for out number 1. As Trenton just got a little too far underneath that one, as a chance to drive it, instead got under it, popped it up for the first out, bringing up Eli DeMello. Eli, of course, had the big game. Early on, he was responsible for 3 of the Tigers' runs. Curveball, looking, strike 1. As Combs, the first 2 times he tossed that one, it was high. That time it broke off in front of the plate for strike 1 to DeMello. Those 2 solo shots, of course, it was also a leadoff double as he swings through strike 2. He's able to manufacture a lot of runs for the Tigers, and he did that because he was a nice level swing. So the 0-2 got to protect Combs. There's a breaking pitch outside, a high chopper as Sam Shockley, or not Shockley, but Jack Booth converges on it with Luke Roth, and because it was such a high chopper, it falls in for an infield single for Eli DeMello. Here in the top of the first with 1 down. So for the Tigers now, Cody Knott at the plate. As the young man, the recent news is about how he is committed to wrestle at Corbin College. It'll be the first year of the wrestling program. He took 3rd in state. A lot of promise as a wrestler. His first pitch looks outside, strike 1. The Tigers have done a good job of putting athletes into college. Not just as students, also student athletes. As check throw to first base, not in time on DeMello with good wheels on the base paths. Tigers have Naomi Rainey playing soccer. Eli takes off on the curveball. Throw from Warren is offline. And so Eli's got a stolen base to lead the top of the first off after the infield single. 2-1 count. And Cody at the plate. Or 2-0 count, I believe. That one misses outside, ball 3. Warren's going to come out and have a quick chat with his pitcher. Cody's going to head on down the third base side. There's a few sunshades out here, as I always bring the tent, but I've got a good facility to go from here. Rainier and Clatskanie are big rivals. Whatever one does, the other has to try and one up. Right now, the Clatskanie Players Lounge box set up perhaps a little bit nicer than Rainier's. As Cody hits this one hard to Luke Roth, it's underneath the glove. Eli turns at third, stops, and Cody's going to advance to second. Here's the throw in, and it's caught by Shockley. And so Eli holds up on the play as Coach Hilger's Chase Baker got to it out in left field. That's what he was watching, and Baker bobbled it a little bit. And if that had happened prior to the hold call, Eli might have turned. As it is, it'll be back-to-back hits for the Tigers. Cody Knott on second base. And Eli DeMello is at third now for Tye Fisher. Senior looks to have a strike on the outside part of the plate. Big opportunity for the Tie Swatter. He's got a whole lot of nicknames with the performance that he's been putting on here in his senior year at center field. Fastball hits the outside part, strike 2. So Combs able to find some success there outside. Tye down 0-2 here with 1 out and runners in scoring position. Good speed. This one inside, swung, miss. It's a chopper. Warren looks at Eli, throws to first. Here's going to be the throw back to first, and it's not in time to get Eli. So a sack grounder for Tye Fisher, or not a sack grounder, it's a strikeout. And then the 2-3 gets Tye, and on the play, Eli DeMello comes around to score 1-0. Cody advances to third on the throw to home. So Blaze Kimbrough now at the plate. Cody Knott at third base. A 1-0 game. And this one's hit hard, first base. Evenson collects and takes it all the way to the bag for himself. For the Taft Tigers, though, they get 2 hits. They leave 1 on the bases, but they get the first run of the game. They lead Clatskanie by a score of 1-0. We'll be back in 60 on your Tigers Radio Network.
Hey, Dean, do you want my gazebo? It's in the trunk. Okay. I have already jumped in the water today. I woke up early to make the drive out so I could jump in the water.
The Tigers lead the Tigers 1-0 as Taft got the first run of the game on a strikeout, and because Cade Warren was unable to control it on the low breaking pitch, it meant that the swing through was not caught cleanly, and that allowed Ty Fisher the chance to run down to first, force a throw, and that allowed Eli to score on the relay play. And Cody got the third. He was stranded there after ground out by Kimbrough ended the inning. So it'll be pitcher, freshman Andre Combs, to lead off the bottom of the first now. With the Tigers on top of the Tigers, 1-0. Final score posted in the softball game. The pitch from Eli in on the wrist, fouled back out of play by the freshman Combs. Clatskanie with the Cincinnati Reds C on their helmet, and they've got their regular C that they use. This one popped high up. Will this stay? No, it's already out of play here on the third base side into the parking lot. It's got the auxiliary parking here at the athletic complex. Not a smart place to park. I'm over by the front entrance. There's some shade over there too. So the 0-2 for DeMello. Fastball swings through and a miss. Strikeout number 1 for Eli. Will bring up the shortstop, Jack Booth. So first action of the day for Jack. At the plate, he had a chance at Eli on a grounder in the first as he swings through for strike 1. But it was such a high chopper that there wasn't really a chance for Booth to get to it. So the 0-1. Good on the outside corner. Strike 2 as Eli's in a rhythm here early. Dad's got the camera out. We're in the bottom of the first. 0-2 count. Curveball comes inside and misses. 1-2. Eli. Not a true windup. He's kind of at a 3/4. That one's low. Good frame by Caden, but the one was low. 2-2 count now for Booth. On deck is Luke Roth, the third baseman. And he gets it swinging at the high heat. And back-to-back strikeouts now for Eli DeMello will bring up Luke Roth. The one thing Eli and Luke both have in common is they've homered at Catlin Gable High School this year. This one inside. Nice righty. Makes that ball 1. Righty versus righty matchup. 1-0 comes back, hit, and Fico comes in and makes it on the line catch. L5, 3 up, 3 down for Taft against Clatskanie here after 1 inning of play. No runs, no hits, no errors. Taft on top of Clatskanie 1-0. We'll be back in 60 on the Tigers Radio Network. We're here in the top of the second inning now with Taft Tigers lead the Clatskanie Tigers by a score 1-0 after a single and a double and then a strikeout forced to throw out. Tigers were able to plate Eli DeMello. Coming up this inning, it's going to be Fico Ramos to lead things off, followed by the left fielder Darius Smith, and then it'll be the catcher Caden Heineman. So Andre Combs continues on the mound. So, gets it over from Evenson at first as he's throwing to Cade Warren behind the plate with Sam Chalkley at short, or at second. Luke Roth toes on the grass at third base, and Jack Booth at shortstop. And Fico hits this one hard into left field for Chase Baker, who's will set up underneath of it and make the catch for his second out of the game. So he gets the first out, and both top of the first, top of the second, brings up Darius Smith, and for Chase Baker out in left field. That'll be a big thing because the sun is going his direction out there. We also have Foster, Evenson in center field, and Noah Patterson in right. So Darius, first pitch is inside for a ball. Got one in the turf for Cade Warren. The 1-0 count. Hits this one hard and past Luke Roth at third base as that one just went right down the line. Darius rounds first and heads right on back. Coach Hilger's there and gets a bit of words of wisdom there as Tigers get their third base runner here. As Darius, second single of the game for Taft, brings up the catcher, Caden Heineman. Catcher been doing great this year. There's a check throw down to first. Darius back in time. As mentioned, the softball game has a top four showdown, number 1 versus number 4. The sophomore Shelby Blodgett versus the junior Emma Coulter. Pitch outside, gets him looking, strike 1. So, 0-1 count for Caden. Man hitting over 300 in league play. His check throw back to first as Darius back in time. Andre Combs, freshman, works on the mound, throwing against the sophomore over there. So, 2 more years those two seeing one another here. District alignments will remain for another 3 years. Darius is going to take off. This one popped up. Darius hustles back. This one is caught by Warren as Darius gets back to first base in time. So pop up by the catcher is the second out of the inning for Lucas Heineman. So little brother gets to bat first, then older brother. We'll see though if Lucas can make it count. With 2 outs, Darius takes off. That one gets by Warren as Darius rounds second, pulls up, and heads back to the bag. So stolen base for Darius as one go down, I guess, as a passed ball, technically speaking, but the saw on the throw earlier, the Tigers apparently are going to have a chance at one behind the plate, which is outside for ball 2. So 2-0 for Lucas. With Darius in scoring position, if Lucas can put something on the grass, he's got a chance to score Darius. This one popped up, though, as Dawson Evenson comes in, makes the catch in foul territory for another pop-up. This time, Tigers, they get one hit, they leave one on the bases, and they don't bring him across. We go bottom 1, Taft 1, or bottom 2, Taft 1, Clatskanie 0, back in 60 on your Tigers Radio Network. This will be the honorable mention All-State catcher last year, Cade Warren, in for his first at-bat, going up against another honorable mention All-State catcher from last year, and Eli DeMello. Both are juniors. Eli on the mound. First pitch high for ball 1 to Cade Warren. Eli getting a start here in game number 1. That's how we've seen it kind of work out in these doubleheaders. Is Warren, this one's got a chance to leave the park as Ty's looking, dives into the fence as Warren's got 2 on the play. As Ty made a great effort there, and we talk about that hump out in the outfield there, perhaps having a bit of an effect as Ty went into the wall. As he's holding the elbow right now, but a solid shot from Cade Warren to lead off, as that one was high. Ty is getting looked at as Coach Hilgers comes out here. But a solid shot by Cade Warren for Clatskanie. At the plate now will be Foster Evenson, the center fielder, with Dawson Evenson. Ty, though, says, "Coach, I am not coming out," as he rotates the arm, working out there. As it went off the glove. Darius also out there in left field making a play to help, but it was just hit too hard by Cade Warren. And he'll be at second base now for Foster Evenson. Eli throwing from the stretch. And this one's hit hard. Cody will collect. It's off his chest, though. Here's the throw. No, as that will go down as an error on the Tigers as they play on the all-turf infield and sometimes getting used to the bounce. So Evenson over at first base with Warren now at third base for Dawson Evenson. Now 2 on with nobody out. If they elect to run Foster Evenson at first, test the arm of Caden. This one is hit through the gap at shortstop by Cody, and it will score Cade Warren for the first run of the game for Clatskanie. RBI single to Dawson Evenson as Foster now over at second base. We're now tied at 1, still no outs here in the bottom of the second in a 1-1 game between the Tigers and the Tigers. So Noah Patterson, hard to Cody, as he'll throw to Jordan at second. Here's the turn for 2. It's not in time, as Blaze does a good job of keeping that one nearby. So Patterson grounds out on the fielder's choice, 6-4. one down, so Foster Evenson makes it to third. Dawson Evenson is out on the bases. That'll bring up Chase Baker. He first pitch swings from Clatskanie. So we're tied at 1. Foster Evenson at third, Noah Patterson at first. Eli steps off the hill. He's back on now. Coach Tompkins along the third base side. Check throw to first, and he got him on the throw. Noah Patterson caught sleeping on the base pass. Now it'll bring up, or now Chase Baker is at the plate with 2 down instead of just 1. As strike 1 called, throw down the plate. As I mentioned that Coach Tompkins was in the third base box. I was about to say it's injured player James Hellman in the first base box, and that time perhaps, well, it's always on the guy on the base pass. He's got to be responsible for himself. But sometimes that's the difference between having somebody that's a little more vocal out there. That one's in the dirt to Baker. 1-1, short chopper. Fico comes forward. Here's the throw to first. The relay throw in time for the out. A 5-3 ground out by Chase Baker means that the scoring run at third does not count. They get 2 hits. They leave 1 on the base paths, and the Clatskanie Tigers even this one up at 1 apiece going into the top of the third when we return in 60 on your Tigers Radio Network. So here in the top of the third, Trenton Fisher will lead off for the second time today. Top of the lineup for the Tigers. Second time they've seen the freshman Andre Combs. First time through, they got 3 hits and 1 run scored. This gets Trenton swinging strike 1 at the breaking pitch. That's the first time he faced Trenton, unable to find the right location with the curve. This time he's got it. This time Trenton's got a sharp hit to Roth. Backhands, makes the throw for the easy out at first base after a good play by Luke Roth. Made it look simple there. So we'll bring up Eli now for the second time. We had a chopper up the infield, high chopper that was unable to be played by the Clatskanie infield. Shockley converged along with Jackson Booth, and Booth got there. And this one goes hard to Booth. 3-hopper, collects. Here's a hard throw in time as Evenson stretches out to make the play. 6-3 ground out. Cody Knott now come to the plate. Cody hit a double down the line along third base. Hard hit ball. As Luke Roth not playing near the line. Curveball outside in the turf. Ball 1 for Cody. So he got stranded at third. For Taft, the way that the standings are set up, they're in such a position that it really doesn't matter what happens today. They're going to play, I want to say, Thursday. Check swing up top, didn't go. Ball. As they asked for an appeal, and the field ump Taft says no. Safe. 2-0. And this one hit through the gap at shortstop for Cody as he turns, and he's not gonna stretch. Chase Baker didn't field it cleanly, but it didn't get that far away from him. So Cody, with single and a double now, bring up Ty Fisher. Imagine we'll see Cody in motion here, try and give Ty a runner in scoring position. Combs throwing from the stretch. There's the check throw. Cody dives back feet first this time. Taft's trying to use the bag as a track block. And sprint down to second if the throw got away from Evenson. There's another check throw. This time he decides to dive back. And in the second inning, it's a 2-0 Clatskanie lead in the softball game. Another check throw. I think we might be going to the top of the third now, or the bottom of the second for a softball game. That pitch is high. Ball one. First one thrown to Ty after 3 thrown to Evenson at first. Cody with his lead. Trying to play games, little shuffle. Pitch outside, Warren throws down to first. And Cody alertly gets back. 2-0 count for Ty. Well, if Cody doesn't end up taking a base here, Ty might see himself drawing a walk as Combs' curveball misses. That one gets away from Warren, and Cody now does head down to third. So that one will go down as another pass ball in my book. Warren just unable to block the curveball that time. 3-0 count for Ty Fisher. That pitch rings them up. Strike one outside. 2 down for Taft here in the top of the third inning. And that one misses outside. 5-pitch walk for Ty. So 2 on now for Blaze Kimbrough. Been a big 3 games for Blaze. Over the last 3 games, he's got 6 hits. Got 2 on right now. The pitch is high. And the fastball. All 1. Tigers in their road blacks with gray pants. Clatskanie in their home whites. As Combs will step off. Look at Cody at second, but not make the throw to boot there at shortstop. As Blaze hits this one up the middle, Jack Booth sets up and takes it himself to second base before Ty can get there. 6 unassisted to end the inning after the Tigers get 1 hit. They leave 2 on the bases. And they scored no runs going into the bottom of the third. It remains a 1-1 score. Atkins 60 on your Tigers Radio Network. So here in the bottom of the third, it'll be the second baseman Sam Shockley to lead off. His first at-bat of the game. So far, the Tigers have 4 hits today. They've stranded 4 runners, scored 1 run. For Clatskanie, they have 2 hits, and they've stranded 1 runner. They have RBI single from Dawson Evenson. So, curveball misses away, ball one. That pitch didn't stand a chance. It's no good leaving the hands. Eli, though, struck out the first two batters. This is the 9 batter on top of the lineup. That one in the dirt, ball two. So, on deck is the pitcher, Andre Combs. This ball starting to find some rhythm. Looks to continue strong play on the hill. Fastball. And he looked good. Umpire holds off on making the call, so it's now a 3-0 count for Sam Shockley. And that one didn't stand a chance. It's in the turf, so 3 of those 4 pitches were not so good from Eli. So Andre Combs now at the plate. Base runner. Base runners tend to come around to score when they're leadoff hitters. Andre Combs, his duty to advance. He shows bunt. Eli gets it quickly. He's going to throw to first to Blaze, make the out, as Shockley showed some hustle getting down to second. So a sac bunt on a 1-3 throw out for the first out advances Shockley to second by Andre Combs. Did just what his coach wanted him to. So Jack Booth now, shortstop at the plate, struck out in his first at-bat. And we are in the bottom of the third. As this one hit to Cody, and his only play is to first. Blaze, good glove at first to make the catch. 6-3 ground out, advances Shockley to third. So 2 outs now for Luke Roth, the third baseman. He's lined out to Fico. That's first pitch swinging. Fico comes in off the gloves, and that one off the body, as he needed to stay back on that one just a little bit, as it didn't come in time. And for the Tigers, that'll be their second error. It scores a run, as Clatskanie now has the lead, 2-1. They also lead the softball score game. Now score 2-0. The pitch inside, strike one. That's Cade Warren. He led off the top or the bottom of the second with a solid shot in the left center that was off Ty's glove and off the fence. It's got an 0-1. And he hits this one hard again in the left. Darius is on his wheels, and Zero makes the catch on the run. A great play by Darius to catch that one moving for the Tigers. For Clatskanie, they score 1 run on no hits. They leave 1 man on the base paths, and they get the lead run. They're now up 2-1 against Taft. We'll be back with the top of the 4th here at 60 on the Tigers Radio Network. So for Taft, it's going to be Fico Ramos who will lead things off here in the top of the 4th inning. It'll be Darius and Caden, as Darius had a single down the third baseline, his first at bat. Fico had a fly out to Chase Baker out in left field. Tigers, the Taft, don't have a nice level stroke. So Andre Combs continues here in the top of the fourth. Freshman versus sophomore Ramos, curveball, and he's swinging it out in front. Strike one. Good pitch from Andre Combs. Clatskanie fans using the back of the football stadium as shade. Smart idea. As that curveball misses in the turf and gets away from Warren. As Taft, if they can get base runners, that's been an advantage. The advance on the pass from the pass ball. Chopper, foul. 1-2 count for Fico after chopping that one over to the third base Tiger dugout. Here in the sunshine and heat at Clatskanie High School, 1-2 count, top of fourth for Fico. Pitch, and misses high. 2-2 count. It's a 2-1 lead for Clatskanie as Taft playing from behind here. As he pops this one into left field, and it's going to get down in front of Chase Baker. So a nice pop for Fico, puts him on first base. It's the fifth hit of the game for Taft. It'll bring up Darius. So 0 now. Chance to put some pop in the bat for Taft. It's been 3 games in a row that they've hit a home run. And Darius had the inside the park home run at Willamina. As he shows bunt down the first base side, Andre Combs there. Here's the throw. They get it as Fico comes off the bag at second, has to dive back in time as he was looking over at third base as Luke Roth and Jack Booth were covering, but the sac bunt for Darius does the job. It gets Fico to second on the 1-3 ground out. 1 down now for freshman catcher Caden Heineman. Pitch outside, ball 1. Caden had a pop-up to Warren, his last at-bat, and then Lucas, who's on deck, popped up to Evenson at first base. The Tigers want those level swings, drops the wrists on that one as he swings through, strike 1. So 1-1 with 1 down, top of the fourth, in a 2-1 game. Fico at second, Caden at the plate. And pitch inside, a 2-1 count now. Warren had to come out and block. That's what we mentioned a moment ago. For Taft, they get base runners. Combs, his breaking pitch is good. It's got action. That's action off the glove of Luke Roth at third. Fico's going to round, and they're going to test the arm of Baker, who is not going to throw out. Fico Ramos on the RBI single from Caden Heineman to tie the ball game up here in the top of the fourth inning. It's 2-2 following the cannon with the RBI single. Now comes older brother Lucas to the plate with a pinch runner. And for the Tigers, I'm not sure who that is at first base. So we've got a mystery pinch runner at first base right now. Pitches inside to Lucas for a ball. It must be one of the JV players getting a chance to play up. As this one hit by Lucas up the middle for the single. As runner advances to second, Lucas on with back-to-back singles from the Heineman brothers. And we're tied at 2, and we've got the top of the lineup back once again. For Taft, it'll be Trenton Fisher. Trenton, fly out to left. He's got a ground out to Luke Roth. Curveball misses outside, ball one. Evenson at first base is playing forward on the grass. Luke Roth is 2 steps in front of the bag on the grass as we got time on the play. Coach Hilgers will head out to second base, talk with his pinch runner there. Cade Warren out to talk with his pitcher. Eli has a word with Trenton real briefly. Coach Hilgers will head on back now. Trenton at 1-0 count. Runners on first and second, and 1 out here. This one hit up the middle. Will it get by Booth? He gets it at second, touches the bag. His relay throw is not in time, but a heads-up play by Jack Booth to be able to collect on the 6 unassisted and get the second out for the Tigers. So that gets Lucas out at second base. But the pinch runner for Taft is safe at third. Fielder's choice ground out means Trenton is safe at first on the play for Eli DeMello now. Trenton takes off. Warren doesn't throw. Strike called at the plate. Stolen base for Trenton. 2 in scoring position now for Taft. Top 4 in a tie game at 2. Eli DeMello with an 0-1 count with a chance to add to the lead, or to give the Tigers a lead for the second time today, I should say, as it's tied right now. Time called. Steps out in the third inning, 2-0 game. Clatskanie leading Taft in softball. Eli swats this one past diving Luke Roth at third. That scores the pinch runner. Here comes Trenton, and Luke Roth does not make the relay throw. And 2 RBI single for Eli DeMello has the Tigers on top now, 4-2 over the Clatskanie Tigers. Here in the top of the fourth, Cody Knott now will come to the plate with Eli at first base. And a courtesy runner will be Graydon Kerr. Now, Graydon does not have the speed that Eli does on the base pass, but for Coach Hilgers, wants to protect his pitcher here in the heat. I got to believe that's what he's thinking right now. As Graydon, with experience as a pinch runner, that one in the turf outside as Warren a good block that time. Graydon didn't take off. And now's a good time as we see some of the parents go for the cooler. Say that big props to Coach Tompkins for finding the mystery that he's got in the dugouts for these teams. As that one low and away, another good block by Warren behind the plate, but now Combs has fallen behind 2-0 to Cody Knott. Taft leading 4-2 following the 2 RBI single from DeMello. This one not popped up in on the wrist. Shockley and Evenson. Evenson calls for it at first base and makes the catch on the pop out to end the inning, but not before Taft scores 3 runs here in the top of the fourth to lead Clatskanie by a score of 4-2. They do it on 4 hits. They leave 2 on the base paths. And we'll be back in 60 here on your Tigers Radio Network.
Randy's the guy who speeds up and then slows down at the end.
So here in the bottom of the fourth, it's Foster Evenson, the center fielder, to lead off, as he starts off with a ball outside from Eli. Didn't miss much on that. As both Evenson boys fall. This one off the leg, though, as he goes to the ground. That's not the spot you want to get hit, and this time it wasn't a hit by pitch. It was hit off of a foul ball, and those ones are always tricky because they can end up anywhere. He's walking over towards first base to his teammate James Hellman, who's missed this sports season. It's been a big loss for Clatskanie. As Coach Tompkins comes over from third base as the proverbial walk it off happens. They're not reaching for any dirt to try and rub any of that on there, but for Foster, a 1-1 count at the plate after he fouled that one off his leg. He's got to try it again. So here, bottom four with Taft leading after that 3-run fourth inning. Trying to hold on to the lead here at Clatskanie. Eli gets him looking at the fastball outside. Strike two. And curveball, and he rings him up looking. Just a beautiful piece of pitching right there by Eli as he went fastball outside, pitch before, and then breaking pitch inside. So in steps Dawson Evenson now, the first baseman, batting left. And as that fastball misses low in the turf, ball one. As Dawson had the RBI single back in the second inning to tie the game. As he swats that one foul on the outside part of the plate, strike one. On deck is the right fielder Noah Patterson. As the score remains 2-0 in the fourth inning now in the softball matchup. As curveball comes in, gets him looking, strike two now. 1-2 count. Righty DeMello on the mound against the lefty Evenson. And the pitch goes away, and this one's going to be a little Texas leaguer into left center field for the second hit of the day for Dawson Evenson. As he stayed back and poked that one into left. So Noah Patterson now comes to the plate. Tigers for Taft, they're fortunate nobody on the bases, as last time Dawson did that, it scored Cade Warren. Noah Patterson had the fielder's choice ground out, 6-4. As Taft tried to turn the double play, they were unable to. Patterson looks at strike one. As there's one down in the bottom of the fourth, so another chance for Tigers to try and turn two with a hard hit grounder right at one. Has that one outside, and it's going to keep Evenson at first as Caden wasn't able to catch it cleanly, but Dawson didn't want to risk the rundown. That's a good move. Caden's got a good arm behind the plate. Eli throwing from the stretch, the 1-1 count with one down. Fastball, this one hit into right center as Trenton Fisher comes in forward as, oh, Trenton, you should have tested the throw there with Evenson at first, but he doesn't. As Dawson Evenson might have been a hit and run call, as Trenton was able to get to that one quickly. He's not playing the line, that's why. When I look at it, he's probably about 80 feet at least into the gap towards center. So Chase Baker, the left fielder now at the plate, fouls no, it stays in play as Eli gets to it, and maybe he should have let it try and go foul. As Chase Baker, the infield single is what that'll get marked down as, and it looked like it had a chance at going foul. So Evenson at second base, Baker at first base for Sam Shockley, who drew a 4-pitch walk in his first at-bat. There's two down. It'll be the top of the lineup again with Combs on deck. That one is inside the Shockley. There's yet to see a strike. as he led off the bottom of the third with a walk and would come around to score the second run of the game to give Clatskanie their first and only lead so far. That one misses inside, couldn't have been by much. So 2-0 count, 2 down, bottom 4. Pitch from Eli, swung, popped, and fouled out of play. As heads up little girl over there at the snack shack. 2-1 count. And for Taft, being able to get some games here in the heat will be nice because as it stands, playoffs for today, they'd go to Eastern Oregon in the first round. And that one misses outside. 3-1 count now to Shockley. That's the 9 batter. That's really a decent pitch so far. Tigers, though, we need him to get one up the middle. Into the glove. This time he swings through and misses. Strike 2. Full count now for Shockley. As he represents the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 4th, play 7. As Eli's going to step off, but he won't make the throw to second. Jordan is playing the bag, but Dawson Evenson back in time before the throw. Eli from the stretch to Shockley. And that one is low for a ball. So, second walk drawn by Sam Shockley. Chase Baker moves up to second. And Dawson Evenson hustles down to third for the leadoff man, Andre Combs. So top of the lineup now. As Combs has a strikeout and a sac grounder. This time, though, he's got to do it himself. Nowhere to go. Eli's got 3 strikeouts. Only 2 walks, both to Shockley. That's 1 strike on the outside corner for number 1. Big at bat here between Combs and DeMello. Good block by Caden as that one's low outside. So it's Dawson Evenson at third. Chase Baker is over at second, and Sam Shockley is at first. And called strike once again, number 2 for Combs. 1-2 count. 2 down. In the 5th inning, it is still a 2-0 game between Taft and Clatskanie in softball. As Combs fouls that one off on the heater inside, it remains 1-2 as Jack Booth chases that one down. It's a big softball game being played over there. Eli. Saw a call from Caden. Curveball swings through and misses. And the curveball, hey, he says, I didn't like the first pitch he gave me. He liked the second call, and he made it count with the strikeout. 3 left on the bases for Clatskanie as they don't get any after putting 3 on and threatening to score. They get 2 hits, 1 walk, and Taft leads Clatskanie going to the top of the 5th by a score of 4-2 back in 60 on your Tigers Radio Network. So Ty Fisher will lead off for Taft here in the top of the 5th inning, followed by Blaze Kimbrough and Fico Ramos. as both Combs and DeMello have gone 4 innings so far. Combs continues here in the 5th. I imagine we'll see Eli continue, as Taft's going to have some days off. They're not going to worry about pitch counts. So, first pitch to Tai, swung on, hit to Luke Roth at third, the high chopper, fields it, quick throw, is safe. Tai showing some wheels. That's the second time this game where Taft has been able to get a runner on because of a high chopper on an infield single for Tai. He's now 1 for 2 today after a strikeout and a walk. So Blaze will come to the plate now. Taft trying to score a few more runs here against Clatskanie. Game 1, not as close as this one was. Blaze, a nice bunt down the left field or third base side. Luke Roth collects, and good throw to first, gets the out, but another sac bunt for the Tigers. This one puts Tai at second base. So Fico will come to the plate. He had a good single in front of Chase Baker in his last at bat. In his first at bat, he flew out to Chase Baker. So that's where Fico's been trying to go. Check swing outside. He stays away from it. Ball 1. So 1-0 for Fico. Combs, this one hard down the right field line, and this has got a chance to score. Tai, he rounds third. Fico stays at first. The relay throw gets under the glove of Evenson. Fico now takes off for second. The throw from Warren is not in time, as that glove and foot arrived at the same time as the ball, I think, with Booth there at shortstop. And so Fico, with an RBI single, makes it a 5-2 game. And he then advances to second on the throw. As heads up there by Fico. Of course, you got to have some speed to be able to show it off. But that was a great piece of opposite field hitting, really, as that pitch is a ball inside by Darius. As Fico's been a strong pull hitter so far this season, so to be able to see him go opposite like that is a great sign in the evolution of the sophomore's game. As Taft now up 5-2, 2-0 count for Darius at the plate, as he's already got a hit today. Has also had a sac bunt, as this one back into the cage. 2-1 count now for Darius. On deck is Caden, who's also 1 for 2 today, although for Darius he's 1 for 1. They don't count the sacrifice against your average. And looks like the Lady Tigers have scored. It's now a 2-1 game in the softball. As that one's in the turf, Fico's going to take off for third. Warren will pick it up, and he sees where Fico is and decides not to throw down, as the curveball from Combs has been hard to control for Warren behind the plate. So, advance for Fico, who's now 90 feet away for Darius with a 3-1 count. Combs doesn't want to miss here and put Darius on at first. That one misses, and he does put Darius on at first. So runners on the corners now for Caden Heineman. And Caden's done a good job on the season with runners in scoring position. If you see Darius take off here on pitch number 1, Caden will have 2 of them. He had an RBI single in his last at-bat. He also had a pop-up. So I'd like to think he fixed whatever ailed him on the pop-up with his last at-bat. Darius takes off, hit and run. It's going to Roth. Roth bobbles a high throw. Evenson is able to get it and get the foot down somehow in time. So Darius gets to second, and it goes down as a 5-3 ground out. Luke Roth, that's why they call it the hot corner, because it comes in so hot that you got to be able to react quickly to it. He did. And Evenson on the high throw, that's why he put a tall kid at first base. He made the catch. So Lucas now got a single in his last at-bat as well at the plate. This one is outside. Warren does a good job to collect. 5-2 score here for Taft, leading Clatskanie on the road, top of the 5th inning. As looks like it's going bottom 5 now between the Lady Tigers and the Lady Tigers. But for Taft, they were able to score 1. So 2-1 in softball, 5-2 in baseball. Here's a check throw, and Andre Combs gets Darius Smith out as Darius tries to argue it, but he got picked off on the play. Caught looking for the 3rd out of the inning. We go bottom 5 now as the Tigers, they get 1 run on 2 hits, and the base runner was picked off, so it's 5-2 Taft going bottom 5 in 60 on the Tigers Radio Network. Jack Booth leads off for Clatskanie here in the bottom of the 5th. Check swing, lays off ball 1 from Eli DeMello with Luke Roth on deck and Cade Warren in the hole. It's the 2-3-4 batters for Clatskanie as they try and get back into this. Strike 1 call to Booth as Taft came alive in the top of the 4th, scoring 3 runs. They got 1 in the top of the 5th. They've had a run scored in every inning so far. Never had, and so far, neither team has scored in the same inning. That one gets away from Caden, ball 2. 2-1 to Booth. So far, Jack has a strikeout and a ground out to Cody in his 2 at-bats. That one misses outside. 3-1 count, so Eli to stay in command here for Taft. We know Trenton Fisher come in and throw in relief, as well as Cody Knott. This one down the pipe and hit down the 3rd base line and out of play. As Tigers, I think Eli and Fico learned their lesson after the chopper from Chase Baker. Had a similar play, and that one had a bit more inertia where you knew it was going foul. The Baker one was kind of, perhaps it would have stayed fair, but I think I would have taken the risk at that point. As we talked about, some of these choppers, they'll get up in the air and they make it hard for an infielder to be able to make a play on it. So full count now for Booth. Here leading off the bottom of the 5th for Clatskanie against DeMello, and this one's down the pipe, swung on, popped up as Blaze calls for it at first base and makes the catch on the pop-up. 1 down. Now in the bottom of the 5th, we'll bring up Luke Roth. As Luke is an avid sports journalist. Young man has written some articles for OSAA Today. That curveball from Eli misses inside. Luke, he had a line out to Fico at 3rd base, and then he was able to reach on an error on a grounder to Fico. And this time it goes over the head of Fico and in for a single. So Luke Roth, that's where he likes to go, down that 3rd base side. He's in with his first hit of the day, and it is the 5th hit of the game now for Clatskanie. Gives them a base runner for Cade Warren. And as we know, Cade Warren, he's already put 2 shots, one for a double, one for a flyout, both into left center. As time is called at the plate, Eli begins the motion, holds off. We'll get ready again here against Warren. 5-2 game with 1 down.
This one hit to Cody at third. Here's the double for Jordan. The relay throw to Blaze. The scoop is good on the old-fashioned 5-4-3 double play. The Tigers end the threat against the Tigers as we go to the top of the sixth with Taft leading 5-2 in 60 on your Tigers radio network. We're back here on AM 1400 KBCH, where in the softball game, after narrowing it to a 2-1 score, the Clatskanie Tigers have since scored another 2 runs as the number 1 ranked Tigers lead 4-1 over the number 4 ranked Lady Tigers in that top 4 showdown. So here in the heat, we can see the scoreboard in the distance. Here in the top of the 6th, it'll be the 9-1-2 hitters. Lucas Heineman was on the base, was at the plate when Darius Smith got caught stealing, and well, I would say Darius got caught sleeping, not stealing on the base pass, as Andre Combs with good pickoff move on the hill got Darius to end the inning. So Lucas will lead it off here in the top of the 6th. That one misses, as it'll be ball 1 for Lucas, who's 1 for 2 today. He had a single into center field in his last at-bat. Then he had a pop-up, so he's gone to both Evenson boys. This time he hits it into shallow right center field. Shockley won't get there, as Patterson does a good job to barehand it, but Heineman already there at the bag. His second single of the game today, and Lucas has, well, he was hitting over 600 in league play last week, so in limited action, Lucas Heineman has been lethal. So leadoff base runner for the Tigers, and top of the lineup now, Trenton Fisher for the 4th time today. As Trenton reached on a fielder's choice, he's going to show bunt, curveball. It's a ball outside. Cade Warren's throw down to first is not in time as Lucas gets back. So while the Tigers have got the sack bunt shown, they're not adverse to pulling it back if the pitch isn't good. Curveball from Combs. Trenton laid off. Here's the check throw back to first, not in time. So Andre thrown from the stretch. Freshman versus the junior. Let the junior Heineman on at first. Roth comes forward at third. It goes down the first base side. Combs collects. There's the throw to Evenson for the out as Heineman gets down to second, and Trenton does his job with the sack bunt. Goes down 1-3 for out number 1, bringing up Eli DeMello as Taft leads top of the 6th by a score of 5-2, as they want to just keep adding to that margin. As Taft down to their final 5 outs for Clatskanie, their final 6. Eli's going to show a bunt as well. This one is foul, as the quick bunt shown by Eli. Luke Roth was playing deep at third. As he sees bunt, he'll come forward. Now he's kind of playing with the toes on the grass at third. Lucas has his lead at second. Here's the pitch. Eli swats it over the head of Roth. Booth collects. Hyman will get to third, and Booth will not make the throw. Recognizing the speed of Eli, he gets down to first for the third single of the game for Eli DeMello. Runners on the corners now for the Tigers. And we'll see if, again, Coach Holgers elects to use the courtesy runner for Eli, or if in this situation he wants to let the speed of Eli take over. Right now, Graydon is staying in the dugout for Cody Knott at the plate. So one down, runners on the corners for Taft with Knott in. Eli takes off. Throw is low. Morin blocks, doesn't throw. Stolen base for Eli. And there's now runners on second and third, and now we see Graydon Kerr come out. So for Taft, they recognized the speed of Eli there and the ability to take the base. Now they've got two in scoring position. It takes out the double play possibility as well. Cody on the curveball hits this one to Booth. Hyman goes quickly home plate. He'll score, and here's the throw to third, and they're going to get Graydon Kerr, who waited on the grounder to Jack Booth. So Cody is safe at first on the fielder's choice. Lucas scores on the play, and then it'll end up as a 6-5 throw out, as Graydon just kind of caught in no man's land there. He thought Booth was going to make the throw. So two down for Taft, but they now lead 6-2. With Ty Fisher taking a ball inside. So, got one more. Can they add a second here? Ty, of course, will do more than just one. Looks at a curveball for strike one. As his grand slam, his first one, was against Clatskanie. It was in the bottom of the first. And this one's up the middle, and it's stopped by Combs, who blocks it with the glove and then picks it up and throws to Evenson at first. Did a good job of getting through his pitching motion and being in a defensive position to have the glove, as that will be a 1-3 ground out to end the inning for Taft. They score another run. It's Taft 6, Clatskanie 2, following 2 hits and 1 left on the bases. We'll be back in 60 on your Tigers Radio Network. So, first pitch from DeMello, swung on by Evenson. It's popped up, and Eli will call off Fico Ramos as he makes the quick play. First pitch swinging from Evenson on the pop-up to DeMello for out number 1. Here in the bottom of the 6th brings up Dawson Evenson. Dawson has 2 singles today. He's got 2 of the 5 hits for the Tigers, for Clatskanie Tigers, as well as an RBI, as this one hit to Jordan Hall. The 3-hopper, the throw from Hall to Blaze Kimbrough at first base in time for out number 2. 2 pitches, 2 outs for DeMello here, as those will help your numbers, especially on a hot day. So Noah Patterson, the right fielder, now steps in. He's 0 for 2. He had a fielder's choice ground out. There's a fly out as well. So Patterson looks at a low strike outside, as his last hit was to his counterpart, fellow right fielder Trenton Fisher. This one fouled up back behind us. Straight back. 0-2 count now for Patterson. And on deck is left fielder Chase Baker. So bottom 6, 1 out, 6-2. Taft lead over Clatskanie at Clatskanie High School. He gets him swinging through for the strikeout to end the inning. We will go top 7 in 60 on your Tigers Radio Network. It's top 7, 6-2. Five to 1. So here in the top of the 7th, the boys lead by a score of 6-2. In the girls' game, Clatskanie leads by a score of 5-1 in the 6th inning. As we mentioned prior, Clatskanie, the girls, between their basketball team, which won the state championship, and their softball team, their last loss was January 21st. It was a 1-point loss on the road at Salem Academy, who was a state semifinalist opponent in the girls basketball tournament. So a very intense game taking place over there, but the home team starting to hold on. As we mentioned, though, for the Lady Tigers, only got to win 1 of 2. Plant that seed of hope. Andre Combs is going to start off against Blaze Kimbrough here in the top of the 7th, and he lost that one into the shoulder of Blaze. Blaze, you're supposed to head off down to first base and say you got hit, as Blaze is saying he danced away from it. So 1-0 count. Yes, he's going to say, I'm going to put this one into right field. Noah Patterson backs up and makes the catch for the first out here in the top of the 7th. Bringing up Fico Ramos, sophomore third baseman today. Had some good swings at the plate. He's got back-to-back singles. He's got 1 run scored and an RBI. There's 2 for 3. First pitch from Combs is high, misses away. And if we'll see Eli go the distance as well. 1 is high. Now, Taft, if they were to score 6 runs, then we would reach the 5-run rule. The 10-run rule on the smart guy. Fico swings through and misses. Strike 1. 2-1 count for Fico. That one, well, you might have heard that one hit Fico. So he does head on down to first now. He got him inside on the shoulder blade. So Darius will come to the plate. He had a walk in his last at-bat. He's got a sac bunt and a single. So Darius, 1 for 1. Runner on first. Tigers are always looking for more insurance runs. That one gets away from Warren on the wild pitch, and Fico will be standing up at second base. So there haven't been any errors in the field for Clatskanie, but they have had a few pass ball wild pitch combinations that have allowed the Tigers base runners to add another 90 feet. Darius swings through, misses that time. Strike 1. Top 7, 1-1 count with 1 down. Fico at second base. Curveball from Combs, misses outside, ball 2. On deck, Caden Heineman. Caden 1 for 3 today with an RBI single and run scored in the fourth. That one's outside. 3-1 now for Darius. And that's in the turf. 5-pitch walk for Andre Combs. Mentioned the heat has been an issue, and the Lady Tigers, it's an issue that they can't stop the Clatskanie Tigers from scoring, as that now says 6th inning, and it says 8-1. So mound visit by Coach Tompkins. I wonder if we'll see the end of Andre Combs or if he will continue here with Caden Heineman coming to the plate. And 2 on the bases and just 1 out. Looks like out recorded in the softball game on a fly ball for Taft. We're doing our best. The way it'll work out is on Mother's Day, there's going to be the coaches meeting, and that's when they will go over league stats and where everybody ends up on the all-league list. During that time, the number 1 and number 2 teams will determine whether they want to play a league championship game. The early word is they won't. And then 5 will play at 4. The winner of that game will play at 3. First pitch to Caden misses outside, ball 1, as Andre Combs continues on the hill for Clatskanie. Fico at second, Darius at first. It's a 1-0 count for Caden. And he hits this one through the gap at shortstop. Fico is going to come around to score as this one bounces off Baker. Darius goes to third, and Fico will advance to second on the throw to third. Or Caden, excuse me, will advance to second on the throw to third, as Fico was the one who scored the run. So it'll be an RBI single for Caden. Darius is now at third, and Taft has 2 runners in scoring position for Lucas Heineman, as that same pinch runner that I saw from the first game, he's number 6. We'll figure who that young man is for game number 2 when we take a about 15-minute break. That one is in the turf to Lucas, ball 1. And so we'll take a break following this game before we bring you game 2. Let the players hydrate, get a bit of food. This one, high pitch, hit back up the middle by Lucas. This scores Darius, and here comes the runner advancing around third for the Tigers. The throw is not in time as he gets under, and then he makes sure to touch it a second time, as he may not have touched it the first time there. But for Lucas, a 2 RBI single. He's got 3 hits today. And the Tigers have scored 3 runs here in the top of the 7th. It's now a 9-2 Tiger lead. For Trenton Fisher, hot on top of that one, foul, as the guys with their coolers out there in foul territory thought they might needed to bring their glove for that fly ball. Instead it hits the fence. So 9-2 game for Taft now. So Trenton Fisher at the plate, as bottom of the lineup has done good things for Coach Hilgers today. As this one popped up, down first base side, will it stay fair? Evenson's got a chance, and his chance is good. He makes the catch on the pop-up. So 2 down for Taft now, Eli DeMello. And the question we'll see is, does Eli come in to pitch? I imagine that Coach Hilgers will leave Eli and keep his pitcher, who's in a rhythm, stay that way. So Eli wants to swing the bat still, looks at a ball. That one misses high. 1-0 count for DeMello, who's got 3 singles today. He's got 2 stolen bases and a run scored, as well as 2 runs batted in. Last year he was honorable mention All-State. This year, it's more about what the team can do. Curveball misses high. 2-0 count for Eli. As Lucas is over at first base. And misses high again. 3-0 count now. On deck is Cody Knott. As Cody's got the only extra base hit for Taft. As that's a 4-pitch walk. So Eli down to first. Cody now will come to the plate with 2 on. As we will see a courtesy runner, Graydon Kerr, come out. And I think we might see a new pitcher right now as Coach Tompkins is coming out. With 2 outs here. I think we're just going to see a simple 1-6-6-1 substitution. So Jack Booth will take over for Andre Combs. We'll take a quick 60-second break and be back with more here in the top of the 7th on your Tigers Radio Network. So for Andre Combs, he's going to end up going 6 2/3 today, as the Jack Booth coming in relief now here in the top of the 7th, facing Cody Knott. So Combs responsible for both runners on base right now, as Tigers have 14 hits against Andre Combs, as Cody hits this one hard and foul. As this one's over in the wood chopping section. That's where they do the lumberjack games, as he put some timber to that one. If he straightens that one out, I believe that would be game, as we would hit the 10-run mark. That one's in the turf, ball 1. So 1-1 count for Cody. He's the 8th batter this inning for Taft. Ty Fisher on deck is the only Tiger yet to bat here in the 7th, as Blaze Kimbrough in the hole let it off. Cody, this one off the knob of the bat. Evenson off the end of the glove, scoops, throws to Booth, as what's the call? He is out, as if he's out at first, then it's all over with. But I think he's safe, which means Cody's over there at first base. I wasn't sure what the signal the field ump gave at first, if Booth perhaps didn't collect it cleanly. If he didn't catch it cleanly, then yeah, Cody would be safe. The run at third, Lucas would have scored, and then Graydon would have advanced to third on the play. But the field ump and the plate ump are talking this over to make sure they have it right, and that appears to be the call. So Cody was able to run that one out, as that'll go down as a fielding error there. It gets him on. It scores Lucas. And Graydon is now at third. Cody's at first. It's a 10-2 game, as for our fans of the video broadcast, I totally just messed that up. But that's why we pay more attention to the radio side of things here. 10-2 game. Top of the 7th, Booth steps off, doesn't make the throw over to first. So 1-0 count to Ty Fisher at the plate. As Tigers, it's 10-2. This one in the turf, ball 2 count. 2-0 for Ty, as you can hear Coach Hilgers shout out, it's got to be pretty. It's got to be your pitch, in other words. This one high inside for another ball, 3-0 count. So Ty, hearing some advice from his aunt along the first base side. They want to see a big play here. This one is low and away, doesn't give him a chance. 4-pitch walk for Ty Fisher. Loads the bases now as Cody heads down to second. Graydon was already at third for Blaze Kimbrough now. So he led the inning off with a fly ball to Noah Patterson. As that one gets behind, and Graydon Kerr is going to come in from third base. Here's the throw, and he's tagged out at home plate for the final out of the inning on a 2-1 throw out after the wild pitch. So for the Tigers, they were able to score 4 runs here in the inning as we now go into the bottom of the 7th. Taft, they strand 2 runners on the base paths after getting 2 hits, and we'll be back in 60 on your Tigers Radio Network. Eight to 1. And it says 7 now. In the 7th. So Chase Baker leads off for Clatskanie here in the top of the 7th. First pitch swinging, popped up. DeMello calls it out, makes the catch himself. So Eli started off the bottom of the 6th and the bottom of the 7th with first pitch pop-ups. We'll bring up the second baseman now, Sam Shockley, with Clatskanie down to their final 2 outs. After Shockley, it'll be Andre Combs at the top of the lineup, and it looks like game number 1 in softball has concluded, with Clatskanie winning 8 to 1. As called strike to Shockley at the plate. As that one off above the cage, unable to catch. 1-1 count now. And we knew for the Lady Tigers it was going to be a tough one against Clatskanie, the number 1 ranked team in the state, now 18-0. There's this one. High chopper to Cody. Makes the catch. Here's the throw. It's in time, as Cody had to use that strong arm to make the throw. We've been talking about how some of these high choppers in the infield have been hard to play. That time, though, Cody eyeballed it and then made the strong throw. Andre Combs now at the plate. Or potentially the last time for a Clatskanie batter in game number 1. That pitch is high, and so high that Heineman got out of his stance and still couldn't make the catch. As Eli is going to go 7 innings today with the next out. Curveball gets him looking for strike number 1. As Eli's given up 5 hits with only 2 runs. And he gets him looking again for the second time. 1-2 count now. As Eli, only one of those runs was earned. He misses that time. 2-2 count. The 2-2 from DeMello. Curveball misses. 3-2 count. So full count for Andre Combs, who's got 2 strikeouts and a sacrifice today. Payoff from DeMello from the windup. Fastball fouled back into the netting, and we'll try it once more. Eli looking good here late. He's been efficient in the heat. 3-2, hit foul down the third base side and past the outstretched hands of Coach Tompkins. So we'll watch it one more time. On deck is Jack Blue. Eli tries again. The full count payoff pitch gets him looking to end the game. For Eli DeMello, he's going to get the win today as Taft beats Clatskanie in Game 1 by a score of 10-2. The girls lose Game 1 in softball by a score of 1-8. As I'll tell you some of the final numbers right now. As for Clatskanie, quick look at their final numbers today. They score 2 runs on 5 hits. They strand 5 runners on base, and they had no errors. For Taft, they score 10 runs today, and they do it on 14 hits, and they strand 9 runners on base with 2 errors. So Taft wins Game 1 by a score of 10-2. Lady softball and softball, Clatskanie won that first game 8-1. So we will take a 15-minute break and be back with game number 2 coming up at around 4:50 or so here on AM 1400 KBCH.